What's up, guys and girls, boys and women, and everyone in between? It's Andy, and we're back again with another video. It's been a little while. I've had a few things going on, but we're back. So this time with a Liverpool setup, some rock and roll football, ladies and gentlemen. So as always, if you like the videos, if you can give it a thumbs up, if you want to see anything down below, give it a comment, and as always, if you can subscribe to my channel, that would be a fantastic help. So we'll get right into it. So you can see on screen what sort of team you'd be looking at running. There's some good options with Liverpool at the moment, so if you're going for a more meta setup, you probably set up something like this. Obviously you can afford. When we jump over to the tactics, I've not got all the Liverpool players, so we'll work with what we've got, but you're playing in the 4-3-3 in the fifth formation with Firmino, sort of setting back in the centre forward role, a false 9, and as you know with Klopps, Liverpool anybody can score on the pitch. However, it's Salah and Mane that generally do the bits, with everybody else playing second fiddle. But you can't take anything away from anybody on that pitch. They can all do damage. So let's move over to the tactics. So again, 4-3-3, fifth variant with a centre forward there and a CDM. Let's get into it. So Tactico, so defensive style. So as I say, Klopp is known for his rock and roll football, as they call it. So it's very high pressure, they're very pressing. Every player on the pitch has his own key part, and every player knows what they're doing, and no two players play alike. So we go with constant pressure, because you do not want, as Klopp does not want his opponent to have that ball. So width we go 55, because we're going to be quite wide anyway. Depth 65. Now what I would suggest doing, if you are struggling with counters, is drop it down to 55. As I say, this is going to be a very attacking formation. So probably go with 55-55. If you want to be more aggressive and you're comfortable, move it up to that 65, and you'll see why I'd recommend dropping it down to the 55 in a moment. But 65 is sort of where they want to be. As I say, this FIFA, your defence is quite dropped back anyway to stop them through balls, but as patches are coming in now, through balls are getting more and more predominant, and especially them sort of down the wing balls, and people cutting back in. So I'd recommend 55. Build up play, balanced. Reason we keep it balanced again is because you'll see with the tactics later, there's a lot of players doing a lot of different things based on what's going on with Klopp's football. But they always keep the formation anyway. Even if somebody comes out, they're back in that formation as soon as possible. Chance creation forward, because again, they want to be going forward, especially with Salah and Mane, and then even that midfield and Firmino, once they've done their bits and do what they're meant to do. Especially if you watch that Man United game, it was just sort of, even though they weren't at the best, people drawing somebody out of position and then cutting straight through and punishing them for it. So players in the box, we've gone for, chance creations, forward runs, width 55, as I say, because you are coming in central, but being that little bit wider does allow you to combat counter-attacks, and it spreads your players enough to make them passers, to create that forward run as well, and then it also plays into your tactics. Players in the box 6, as I say, your chance creation is going to come from Mane and Salah anyway, with Firmino sort of clearing up any rubbish, and then your two CMs are going to be sort of there pressuring, so we move it on to 6, and then it also stops that counter attacks in the box, pressures your opponent to make a mistake, and then hopefully you can sort of bumble one into the net. Corners, subjective, we've gone with 3 sort of to keep with the Liverpool tactic and formation and keep it simulation. You can drop it if you're worried about counter attacks. There's a bit of pace in there, but because of sort of the height of some of the players in the Liverpool, you should be scoring anyway. And then free kicks, we've gone for 2. Formation we've covered, so edit positioning. So just for the sake of this video, I'll drop Henderson. Let's swap them over. We'll use Tielemans as the CDM. Few Liverpool players in here, but not too many. So we'll save that, and then we'll get into the tacticiones. No, we won't. We'll get into player instructions. So everybody plays a pivotal role in Liverpool's team and Klopp's formations, and always has done wherever it has been. Now, we all know how to attack, but it's how to defend. So we're going to start a little bit different today. So we're going to drop to Firmino being the first player we're going to look at, and then we'll probably move side to side and backwards. So with Firmino, he's a threat, and he will bag goals like he did the other night. However, he's there not quite as your main striker as we know it's Salah and Mane that, you know, everything comes from, and Firmino is just there as your danger man, you know, and he will punish you as well. So how he plays, he doesn't quite play as a striker. He stays central. He's a false nine. So basically what his job is, like Liverpool's defence sort of starts with Firmino, that he is very clever. Obviously, if he sees a gap, he's going to go for it, but he's very clever. Even when they've played Jota in this role, Jota does play a bit more attacking. But with Firmino, exactly, he tends to draw somebody out of position, lets a defender he like drops deep. A defender will come out to press, and that's where Salah and Mane come in. So that's what we've done here. So we've got him on stay central and false nine. Aggressive interceptions, because if that ball does come loose or they do play it from the back, Firmino wants to be in there, especially with that constant pressure tactic as well, to get that in and then get it out to one of your wide players or drop it back to one of the centre mids, and then they can lay it forward again to one of the wingers. So stay central, false nine, aggressive interceptions and basic defensive support. And then over to the wingers, same on both sides. So you'd have Salah on this side. So basic defensive support, cut inside, getting behind, balanced crossing runs and normal interceptions. So these are your two danger men. So as Firmino sort of being either your playmaker, drawing that defensive line out to sort of come into a V, you want Salah and Mane coming in as a spearhead, and that's where you could either lay it back to one of the centre mids and get it forward again, or as we'll see later on the line, with Liverpool, their threat comes from everywhere. So you see a lot of teams that have sort of a plan A of attack. Liverpool have A, B, C, D. So if Firmino's not exploiting space, you've got Salah and Mane coming in, absolutely dying at you. If they're not doing it, then you've got your centre mid sort of pressure. And if they're not doing it, then you've got your wing backs coming in and flying up the pitch. So on both sides, basic defence, cut inside, getting behind, balanced crossing runs, and that should be the same for Mane over here. Basic defence, cut inside, getting behind, balanced, normal. Okay, so then we move on to our centre mids. So everything's balanced apart from drift wide and cover wing. Now, because Liverpool are so attacking, and because your wing backs are going to be joining the attack as well, what this allows is the two centre mids can cover the wide lane. Obviously, they offer, because you've got them two sort of anchor points in midfield in Firmino playing as that false nine, and then Fabinho, or whoever's playing as a defensive midfielder, they're your anchor points and they're covering that midfield anyway. Then you've got your two wing backs coming in, joining an attack. You've got Firmino and Salah coming in the middle. So what this allows you centre mids to do is cover. So you're not losing any defensive cover. So as your wing backs overlap and come up for the attack, or if Robertson's absolutely hounding somebody down, then your centre mids will drift out wide and leave them gaps that have been exploited as well. So drift wide and cover wing on both your central midfielders. So again, balanced, normal interceptions, drift wide and cover wing, and it just prevents that counter attack, especially down the wing there as well. And you'll also have cover, as you'll see in a minute, through the centre. So the defensive midfield, because you're so attack minded with Liverpool as well, you've got the balanced defence but drop between defenders. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to be a stay-back whore. What it means is as you'll see with defensive tactics at the minute, and because you know how Liverpool, they attack with the wing backs as well, it just changes you to a back three and allows you that little bit of cover. And again, with your midfielders, they're moving out wide, so that's covering the wide flank for you. You're going to drop back and you're going to widen that defensive line as well. So should there be any mistakes, you'll drop back into defence, push your two central defenders out a little bit wide, but your two central defenders are going to be pushed up anyway, and just to sort of crowd out that midfield. And it also helps with sort of catching people offside as well. So balanced defence, drop between defenders, normal interceptions, cover centre, and sticking to position is what you want on your CDM. Now, as we move to the centre-backs, stay back while attacking, but we've got them on step up. So this helps you with, as I say, as you're pressuring, you don't really want your opponent to break through that midfield part. However, because of the attacking sort of mindset of your midfield, what normally would happen if you've not got your CDM set up as Liverpool do, and very much so because of FIFA, your CDM sort of here, your wing backs have gone, so you've just got two centre backs here. So all somebody's got to do if they break through is basically ping the ball, run, drag your CDM out, and then you've got two centre backs. Once one of them centre backs pushes up, they're through with a through ball, and you're done for. So what this will do is they'll step up as your CDM drops in, so you've got that pivotal back three, and then your two wing backs, two centre mids are here anyway. So you're defending now almost with a back five for the time being. And then until your wing backs sort of come in, and then everybody can sort of congregate back to the middle again. So you've got so many options getting out. And then, as I say, if somebody does try pressing that quick ball, they've not got that option, because all of a sudden you've got sort of an automatic offside trap going. So it's brilliant by Klopp how he plays, but it also translates into FIFA by popping these tactics on. And then your wing backs are slightly different. So you've got Andy Robertson on this side, who's changed to French. French and plays for Everton now. Boo, as Liverpool fans will say. But join the attack and overlap are two positions, and then stick to position are two very similar tactics on both sides. The difference with Andy Robertson is he's like an headhunter. He's an absolute animal, and you've seen it countless times where he will chase that ball down and he'll get into positions where normally in any other team you wouldn't want him. But how this sort of plays out, you've got your two wide players up top, you've got your central midfielders covering the wide position, you've got your CDM sort of dropping back to cover a back three anyway. So Andy Robertson's a little bit more free to go in and chase that ball down for you, and it's not really going to cause you any mistakes, and it sort of just fits his mentality as well. So join the attack, aggressive interceptions, overlap, and stick to position. Over on the other side with Trent, he's the more attack-minded, your sort of playmaker, so everything's the same, but we change him to conservative interceptions. Now, even though he will get stuck in with a tackle, he's not as greedy for it, as I say, so he wants to be sort of ready to go again. So what you don't want is Trent sort of being dragged out of position to then allow him to counter. So we've got join the attack again, overlap so them CMs can push out, but conservative interceptions, because you don't want him sort of running in as well, because then that can lead you into big trouble. And then your keeper, balanced and balanced, so nothing here. You don't want anything sort of being dragged out of position. He doesn't really play sweeper. Alisson is a bit more conserved, massive presence in that net. He's a big guy, he just looks massive in the net anyway, even for his height and size. He just looks massive, so he just commands that back line. He's got confidence in his defenders, so he doesn't need to be doing anything silly. So that's it, guys. Sorry if I've sort of rambled, if I've gone over too quickly. If you've got any questions or comments, as I say, pop them down below. If you enjoy this Liverpool video, give it a thumbs up. But as I say, the big one for me, guys, if you can subscribe to the channel if you're not already, push to that 1,000 subscribers. And then as soon as we start getting to that sort of period, the channel's sort of live and booming then. Obviously, it keeps me wanting to do more content, but as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll be doing some giveaways as well for either FIFA points or gift cards. Depending when we hit it, it might even be sort of copies of the next FIFA game. Who knows? The sooner the better for me, the sooner the better for you. Anyway, guys, that's enough from me. Let me know what you want to see in the next one down below. Let me know if you enjoyed it. But other than that, guys, as always, if you stay safe, enjoy your gaming. But until next time, guys, as always, peace and love, everybody.